The end is one of the ugliest places in Minecraft. There's the cheese looking block, which we call endstone. Endermen that get angry just by looking at them. Where'd you go? The situation may have escalated a little bit. Worst of all is falling into the void and losing all your gear. That all can be fixed by converting the end into a greenhouse, which can be simplified down into two parts. For a green, we got grass, and for a house, we have glass. In terms of grass, all they have are these 6 shulkers here, which is not nearly enough. Let's solve that real quick. That should be enough dirt. Just found a wild black rabbit, so apparently they're not as rare as I thought they were in my rabbit corral video. And I didn't have to breed all these rabbits to get it. To obtain all the glass needed to make the glass dome above the whole end island for the greenhouse, I'm going to do some void trading. I also ran the super smelter while I void traded, so we're stacked with glass. 16 shulkers of glass should hopefully be enough. The last item needed is moss blocks to cover up the dirt side of grass, so it looks nice on all the sides. Luckily, I've got a farm for that. This should be enough moss. All the resources for the bulk of the build are gathered, so let's start by making a circle for the dome. Oh, that's not a good sign. This should be lining up. Building the circle by doing this instead of this could possibly cause that problem. The circle foundation for the greenhouse is now laid, and before I get too far on myself, I want to summon the dragon so that the tops of all the towers are at full height, since I gnawed off a few of them. And there we go. With the towers fully restored, it's now time to mob-proof the island. Because Endermen are like little kids who like to play with the dirt, and I have to be the bad guy and get the dirt back. Luckily, light source blocks are their weakness, so I can head to my frog life farm, AFK for a bit, to get all the lights needed. With this final light, all the Endermen are now gone from the end island, and it's time to put the green in greenhouse through some terraforming. The end is now green with life, aside from a few dirt patches, so it's time to add some plants. And not just some plants, all the plants in Minecraft. That includes berries, cocoa beans, cactuses, watermelon, netherwort, bamboo, beetroot, potatoes, sugarcane, pumpkins, wheat, carrots, glowberries, kelp, mushrooms, all of the flower variants, all of the tree variants being oak, birch, jungle, mangrove, acacia, spruce, warped, and crimson fungus. Lastly are the chorus trees. Coral and sea pickles will not be added because they aren't plants. Although dead bushes aren't living, they still are a plant. Here are all the plants gathered up, so let's start by bone mealing the area. The tall grasses will have to go because they make the area look a little bit too overgrown. That looks much better, so it's time for the trees. So apparently mushrooms are a spawnable block. We can change that real quick here. There are all the trees added, so let's now add some flowers. Those flowers add a lot more life to the forest floor. Even from above, it looks a lot more complete with all the flowers added. For the last part of the forest, I just need to add the crops. Just gotta hoe up the ground, plant the seed, and bone meal it. So here we got our wheat, the carrots, bone mealing the potatoes, beetroot, pumpkin. For the rest, I just have to place them. Some aquatic plants also need to be added, being the kelp, lily pad, and seagrass, along with some sugarcane. The last plant needed is chorus fruit, but I want to protect the greenhouse area from the native wildlife, so they're going to be included on the outside area. All the plants have been added to the greenhouse, so now it's time to add the centerpiece, which is a massive tree. There are all the leaves collected, and here's enough wood hopefully. Without further ado, let's get started. The trunk of the tree was a little bit too derpy, so let's cut down and retry. With the tree now fixed and looking a lot better and more organic looking, the green part of greenhouse is now complete, and the last thing to do is build a dome, so it's a greenhouse. With one quick twirl, you probably thought there was going to be a dome there. Well, I had a second thought. I like the wide open feel of this area and didn't really want to cover it up with a dome, so instead I'm building a house inside of this green tree, which looks a little something like this. A spiral staircase leading up to the top where there's a dining room on the first floor, and up this ladder is the top floor where all the essentials to quantify a house, the furnace, crafting table, and bed, along with some extras such as the enchanting table, grindstone, and of course, storage. With that, my transformation of my end island into a greenhouse is complete, with all the plants in Minecraft planted here, along with a giant tree as the centerpiece to house the portal to function as my house. Thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing and leaving a like, and I'll catch you all next time. So now that everybody's gone, the real question is, what do I do with 18 shulkers of glass?